Malka, you and I, we fight the physical battle by being here in the land of Israel, by sending our kids to school. I go to reserve duty, but we also we carry weapons to defend ourselves in our community. But we also fight the narrative war, which is the war of lies that are out there spreading so far and wide. Really, you got to hand it to the other side; they're good. Here's Congressman Ritchie Torres from New York talking about the narrative war in his way. Let's take a look at that.
A reality where evil has become good and wrong has become right, and Israeli self-defense has become aggression, and anti-Semitic terrorism has become resistance. And in that world of lies and blood libels and false narratives, the most important contribution that I can make as a member of Congress is not only my vote in the halls of Congress, but my voice in the public square. You know, the answer to the question of why I choose to speak out lies in Torah. There's a passage in Torah that appears as an inscription in the Liberty Bell. It reads, "Proclaim liberty throughout all lands unto all inhabitants." The deeper message is that none of us is free until all of us are free. I see my freedom as a black Latino from the Bronx as inextricably bound to the freedom of the Jewish people. I see the security of my own nation and home, the United States of America, as inextricably bound to the security of the Jewish homeland. And I'm here to affirm that I am pro-Israel, not despite my progressive values, but because of my progressive values. It is progressive to defend Israel's right to defend itself. It is progressive to demand the release of the hostages who must be brought home.
All right, that was Congressman Ritchie Torres, and I think that he talked about really being brave in the public square, getting out those ideas out there. I like what he said, that being progressive is defending Israel's rights. The only thing I didn't like is that last part, which is like to demand that they get released. You don't demand from terrorists that they release their hostages. You destroy those terrorists and make sure that they don't have.
That's the thing you're supposed to say, right? You're supposed to say, you acknowledge the wrongdoing of the other side and tell them to undo their wrongdoing. And that's like the thing that you say, and you're supposed to say it. But we all know that Hamas is not going to do that. And every time we hear anything about a negotiation for peace, we know that they're just not peace, excuse me, a negotiation for cessation of war. Every time we hear anything about a negotiation for the cessation of war, then we know that Hamas is just messing with us to get the story into the headlines so that people will be like, oh, now are we going to have a deal to get the hostages back? Oh, no, not again. And tiring us out, raising hopes and lowering them again. So there are people like you and me, Shai, who, of course, we highly value the lives of the hostages and desire very deeply that the IDF will go and find them and bring them back, right? We all want that. We all want to bring them home. But we don't think that we can bring them home through any kind of negotiation with the kind of monsters who would have taken them in the first place. And that it's not going to happen. It's not the way to go on every level.
Malka, we have to be bold right now. It's a time of boldness. And I think that the Trump election victory is also a signal to the world that it's time to be bold.